Alrighty, good morning. I'm Lindsay, and I feel like I never introduced myself. So thanks so much for following the classes. We are getting into our level 2 class this week, and we're focusing on deep core work and breathing exercises. The questions have come up. How did you get back in shape postpartum? And I really want to address that, especially a couple of my friends have asked, can you show me that vacuum breath? Can you show me some of the interesting core work that you do? So I started doing breathing exercises really gently within the first few days after giving birth, and then I picked them up, and now I do my breathing exercises about 5 times a week, before or after, or sometimes just at the end of the day when I can get them in. Okay, so let's begin. This is an IG live class, so it will be saved. It's also going to be on, it will be saved on IGTV. All right, so as we start, come to the front of your mat. You can widen your feet out to hip bone distance apart and put a little bend into your knees. Let's go ahead and get started with the feet first. So in the practice of yoga, we work with the bandhas. And the pada bandha at the arch of the foot is the drawing up of the inner arch. The hand bandha that I mention a lot, the hasta bandha, is the center of the palm. So it's like this suction action that you find with the palm of your hand. And it helps in the physical movement. So it helps in the rotation, it helps in the activation of the body. Then we have 3 bandhas. Mula bandha at the base of the pelvis, which is the pelvic floor gathering in and up. Uddiyana bandha, about 2 inches or so below the belly button, draws the belly button, you can watch, in and up. Okay? And then Jalandhara bandha, and that's the chin lock. And as the chin pulls down, you create a seal in the torso. And I often think of this like a oh gosh, I can't remember exactly how I say it now, but I'll get back to that. But as you have a seal in the torso, I know, it's like a pressure cooker. So containing the energy and then slowly letting it out with the breath. Containing the energy, pulling it in, and slowly letting it out. So the exercises that we'll do today focus on abdominal healing, putting everything back together. That's a nice benefit. Abdominal strength for things like pressing up into inversions, jumping forward or jumping back in a harder vinyasa style yoga practice. And then also the expansion of the lower back muscles, so back health. This class is for everyone. I'm speaking to it from a female perspective, but this class is for everyone. All right. So as you come to your position, feet at hip bone distance apart, place your hands onto your hips. Soften your knees. Just soften the knees. Close your eyes. Let your elbows turn out to the side. Relax your shoulders down your back, and through your nose, take a few deep breaths. Our practice is 3-part breathing. So as you fill up the belly, filling in, then the ribs, then the collarbones, and as you exhale, soften your collarbones, ribs, and belly. And you just keep moving like that, filling belly, ribs, collarbones, up, up, up. Exhale, collarbones, ribs, and belly. Pull up through the arches of your feet, and now start to gather the base of your pelvic floor. You'll feel your inner thighs firm, gently, so they just activate and lift a little, and the lower back lengthens. So the next breath that we're moving into is called Nauli. And this is something that you've probably seen some advanced yogis do. It's this big vacuum effect of the abdomen. And as you pull everything in, it makes the organs find fresh oxygenated blood flow, and the whole body becomes a lot more vital, more awake, more awake. So holding on to the hips, you can turn your fingers in and palms face down. And I like to do this little mitten effect with my hands so they're just resting right above the hip bones. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, release all of your air. Then draw your belly in. Break the seal on the inhale and exhale out your mouth. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. When I'm drawing the belly in, there is no more breathing. So inhale, breath, out, breath, all the breath is out of the body. The suction is from arches of the feet to Mula Bandha, to Uddiyana Bandha, to Jalandhara Bandha. So the chin pulls down as the energy from the ground, the floor, the pelvis pulls up. And that is what helps to pull the vacuum in. It presses the organs back and flat towards the back of your body. When you inhale, the chin lifts and it just looks like this. Filling up again, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, and we go out. So you can watch my hand signals. On the inhale breath, I'll say, on the exhale, as you're holding, I'll just make a fist and sucking in. It looks like this. Holding, sucking in. You'll see my hand move to my chin on the inhale, is what it sounds like. Okay, so let's do it. We'll do it in a standing position first, and then we're going to find this over and over throughout the practice. Inhale. Exhale. Pull the belly in. And you lift your chin to fill up. So as you pull the belly in, the chin moves down. Locking, when you lift the chin up, the inhale happens. It's invigorating. Let's do it again. So now just with the cues, and you'll hear the breath. Inhale. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about posture. So now relaxing your shoulders down your back as we do this. We're going to take the hands into the next position, which is out in front of you. And eventually we'll start building this into our practice, so you'll see where we go. Inhale, breath, arms out in front. Put a little bend in your elbows and turn your fingers in towards one another. Keep a soft bend in your knees. Activate and lift the arches of your feet. Tone the base of your pelvic floor. It's like, have you ever practiced dance lessons? So it's like a frame is what you're trying to create with the upper body. A frame of intensity, or a frame of stillness. So integrity or a frame of stillness. Fingers turn in, press the palms of your hands away. Soft bend in your knees, arches lift, pelvis lift. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Draw the belly in, chin down. Keep the arms where they are. Your shoulders should be warming up. On the next movement, we're going to push the hands forward as we're in the breath. So as we're in the holding or the vacuum of the breath, which will expand your back muscles. Some of my friends with some back issues are watching, and backs that are really healing. You'll start to notice how when we round the back, the spine lights up. Keep the frame in your arms as you round your back, and then on the inhale breath, we'll come all the way up and hands will come down to your hips. You can hook your thumbs and we'll go back to starting position. Let's do 3 rounds. Follow along. Out breath. Vacuum. Exhale. Good job. Inhale, arms out. Exhale. Vacuum. Last one. Inhale. Arms up. Breath out, all the air out. So good. Press your feet down, reach your arms up over your head, gaze up. Exhale, bend at your knees, fold forward, hang. Take opposite hand to opposite elbow. You can rock your elbows side to side and feel the length that you've created in the back of your neck. I'm going to link the breath exercises throughout the practice, so at the end of the practice we'll be doing another expression of Nauli. In the middle, a couple times we'll be doing other expressions, but the one at the end is the most interesting. Release your hands down to the mat, lift your chest halfway up, draw your shoulders back. Then lower your hands flat. You can move your props and step back into tabletop pose. From tabletop pose, the knees can be on a blanket. Take an inhale breath, lift your chest, let your belly drop. And exhale, round your spine, curling all the way in. You can do this with your lips pressed together. Inhale. Breathing out through your nose, exhale. Sit back onto your heels, please. Squeeze your knees tight together. Interlace your fingers in front of you and then press the palms of your hands away from you. Take a big inhale breath. Exhale out. The vacuum. Reach your arms up over your head, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take your left hand down to the ground. Reach your right arm up over your head and stretch out the side of your waistline, gaze up. And just coming back to a neutral breath, or a breath that is ujjayi. You can add a soft constriction to the back of your throat. Reach your right arm up and lower your right hand down. Reach your left arm over your head, stretch, lengthen through the side of your body. Inhale, come up, interlace your fingers at your low back. Reach your knuckles down and back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, chin to your chest, belly in. Deep breaths. And tip your chin to one side and then over to the other side. And you can even start to swing the head so your ear moves to the right and then your ear moves towards the left. And then drop your chin back down to your chest. Take your hands onto the mat, curl your toes under. You can move your blanket. Downward facing dog, lift your hips up. Pedal your heels down one at a time. Then widen your feet in downward facing dog and bend your knees. Feet can be at almost mat's distance apart. As you bend your knees, press your hands down and your buttocks up and back. Then straighten your legs just a little so that you can feel the stretch at your inner thighs all the way down to the inner arches of your feet. And bring your feet back to touch. As your big toes touch, bend your knees again. Keep a little bit of space between your heels, and this stretch moves into the innermost hamstring and the outermost hamstring of the leg. Some of you might really feel this in your calf muscles as well. Look forward to your hands, hug your elbows in. On the exhale breath, walk your feet forward up to the front of your mat. Big toes touch. Lift your chest halfway up. Exhale, fold forward, nose to shins. Bend your knees, chair pose. Reach your arms up over your head and look down. In chair pose, sink your weight back into your heels. Wrap your elbows in, palms of the hands face in, sink down low. Try to broaden the base of your pelvis. As you broaden the base of the pelvis out, you should feel more weight moving back into your heels, and you can squeeze your knees together so the buttocks becomes a little wider. Then pull the belly in. As you pull your belly in, we're not doing the breathing exercise, but trying to create a lot of length in the low back. Take a big inhale breath. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, nose to shins. Inhale, lift your chest halfway up. Step your left leg back into a deep lunge. Lower your left knee down. Left hand down, swing, right arm up to the sky, reach high. Exhale, lower your right hand down to the mat, inside of your right foot. Heel toe your right foot wide and then bend your knee. And let's just rock side to side. As you rock, lift your right big toe so you're rocking onto the outer edge of your foot, loosening up the outer edge of your hip. And now use your core. Press your hands down. Lift your left knee up so you're in a deeper lunge. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high. Inhale breath. Step your left foot forward in between your hands. Deep lunge. Lower your right knee down. Right hand down. Twist. Left hand to the sky. Reach up. Squeeze your inner thighs in together. Lower your left hand down to the inside of your foot. Roll to the pinky edge of your left foot and begin to rock side to side. To go a little bit deeper, you can wiggle your right knee back a few steps, and that really helps to get into the hip. Okay, focus on using your abdomen. Curl your back toes under, lift your right knee, exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Bring your big toes to touch and widen your knees out to the sides, and then bend and straighten your legs a few times. From the hands all the way through your arms into your upper back, there's a straight line. So the upper body is still acting like it's in downward facing dog. Look forward up to your hands. And exhale, step or hop. Feet to hands, lift your chest halfway up. Exhale, fold forward, nose to shins. Bend your knees, chair pose. Reach your arms up over your head. Pull your belly in. Squeeze your knees and widen at the base of your pelvis. Then press down into your feet. Exhale, stand. Hands to heart center. So the next position that we're finding is a little bit deeper. As we move into the next pose, I like to use a band to isolate the base of the transverse abdominis. So you can use one, but you don't have to. Here's a little thin one. And then I have this big, thick thigh band that I like to work out with. Have that about 2 inches above your knees on the center of your thighs, and widen your feet to hip bone distance apart. So as the feet widen, press the knees outwards and now push the booty back. So if you've ever done any weightlifting, the feeling in the hamstrings should feel like the beginning movement of a deadlift. Sink your hips down and back. Take your arms out in front of you. Fingers turn in. Press the heels of your hands away. And we're going right back into the breath, but now hands can move to the center of the thighs right above the band. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. Like we did in the last pose, we're really going to round the back a lot as you press your booty back. Watch one time. Inhale. Exhale. Vacuum. On the inhale, lengthen your hamstrings, butt back. Exhale. Vacuum. And then inhale. Okay, so let's do it one more time. So when we're looking, we're in the breath hold. We're looking to round the back so much that you can expand that sense of vitality into your mid and low back. Then we'll get on the ground and do some core exercises. Exhale. Look forward. Take an inhale breath. Neutral spine, exhale. All the breath out. Vacuum. Press your butt back as you inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Okay, the band is magic for the base of the abdomen. So now let's see what we've done. Big toes touch, reach your arms up overhead. Inhale, breath. Exhale, fold forward, down, touch your mat. Lift your chest halfway up. Exhale, step back to plank pose, top of a push-up. Grip your fingers into the mat, draw the eyes of your elbows forward, push your heels back. Take a long inhale breath. Exhale, come onto your tippy toes and round your back. 2 more. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, look forward and lower your knees. Come all the way down to your chest. You can press the tops of your feet down, but keep your big toes together. Let your heels widen out so the base of the buttocks widens. Slide your hands a handprint forward and just a low little cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Slide your hands under your shoulders, curl your toes, zip your belly in, push up plank pose, downward facing dog. Reach your right leg up. Exhale, step your right foot forward in between your hands, lunge position. Come up, reach your arms over your head. Put a bend into your left knee so the front of your left hip moves forward and your right thigh bone moves back. Take your arms out in front of you. Press the heels of the hands away. Little bend in your elbows. We're looking here to lower one hand and lift the other. So the left hand lowers, or the hand that is the back foot. So the left hand will lower and the right hand will lift up. And we're just splitting as we breathe, okay? It looks a little like Tai Chi. Inhale, breath. Exhale out. pull the belly in. What you should have noticed is a deeper stretch through the abdominal muscles, the oblique muscles, into the front of the psoas. It's pretty damn magical. Let's do it again. Holding the lunge. Exhale out. Vacuum. Whew. Arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Downward facing dog, step back. Feel the freedom that you've created at the front of your left hip. Lift your left leg high. Step your left foot forward in between your hands. Bend your knee, keep your right knee lifted, and come up to lunge position. As you bend your knee, knee over top of ankle, draw the front of your right hip forward and your left hip back. So you're coming into alignment with just a little bend in your right knee. You'll feel more length through the front of your right thigh. When you're in the middle of the Nauli breath, split the hands. As you split the hands, you will go way deeper throughout the torso and the length of your spine. Take an inhale. Exhale. Vacuum. It's harder. Inhale, breath. Exhale. One more time, but keep squeezing your thighs in so that you can feel the benefit in your low back. Inhale, breath. Exhale it all out. Vacuum. Arms up, inhale, breath. Exhale, release your hands down to the mat, downward facing dog, step back. Bend one knee and then the other. Deep, vital breaths. Place your hands flat onto the mat, grip your fingers. Bring your big toes together and your knees wide. Look forward to your hands, inhale. Exhale, step or hop to the front of your mat. Lift halfway up, inhale, breath. Exhale, fold nose to shin bones. Do you feel, lift all the way up to standing. Do you feel like you're getting deeper into your forward folds already? So just start to notice that. Inhale at the front of your mat, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Let all of the breath out. Lift your chest halfway up, inhale, breath. Exhale now, bend your knees and have a seat back onto your mat. We worked on some floor exercises the other day and we're coming back to them this time. Widen your feet out to mat's distance apart. Come down onto your back. On your back, back flat, belly in. With your belly in, take your arms out in front of you and tone. Press your left foot down, extend your right leg out, and it's at an angle. But now turn your heel wide and your toe in. So you can get a little bit more attention to your inner thigh, holding and breathing for 10, 9, 8, Reach your arms up, bend your right knee, lay your head back and pull your right knee into your chest. Good job. Rock your knee from side to side. Such deep core work. We're accessing so many different layers other than the superficial abdomen. Release your right foot down onto the mat. Exhale, crunch up. Extend through your arms. Left leg points out to the side. Flare your toes into a floint. Widen your heel like you're turning your thigh in. We often miss that and we focus on the external rotation. Try internal rotation to broaden your back. Stay up 10. Pulls down through the transverse abdominis. And 1, hug your knee into your chest. Oh, arms up, head back, and then hold the knee. Rock your knee from side to side. Pull both of your knees into your chest. You can have the feet spread out and the toes flared. Rock front to back. When we rock front to back with the feet turned out, we come up into a squat position, arms out in front of you. You can take your elbows to the inside of your knees. With your toes turned out, press the palms of your hands together. Stay in a squat. You can wiggle your elbows in just a little bit, and now chin down. Turning the chin down lengthens the low back. Imagine that you have a big ice cream scooper in the front of your body and you're trying to scoop deep. Breathing, neutral. Exhale, scoop. Chin down. A few times. Inhale, breath. This is to lengthen the back muscles. Exhale, either Durga breath or Ujjayi. Notice your shoulders and your jaw. Keep them soft. Good. Putting the back together. Release your hands down to the mat. Widen your heels and straighten your legs. Bend one knee and then the other, and you can just rock your outer hips side to side. Hang your head. This feels like a good stretch for the hamstrings. Heel toe your feet in together. Lift your chest halfway up. Inhale, breath. Step your left leg back into a deep lunge. Keep it lifted. Draw your right hip back and your chest forward. I just had a great release in my back, so I hope that you guys are feeling the same. Take your left arm up, warrior two pose. Sink down into warrior two. Draw your heels in, your pelvic floor in, and your abdomen up. That feeling of in and up will lengthen your low back and turns your right buttocks down underneath of the hip. Extend your arms, gaze to your right hand. Squeeze your shoulder blades back in together. Stay long in your torso. Bring your forearm down to your knee. Rotate your chest up to the sky and your left arm overhead. Palm face down. Sink deeper into your right knee. Long spine. Feel your right buttocks working a lot. So it rotates underneath of you. As it does that, you can get a little bit stronger in the front of your left hip. Turn your left hip up towards the sky. Roll your shoulders back and look up underneath of your left armpit for 3. Squeeze the heels. 2. And 1. Look down. Warrior two pose. Really strong in the legs. And then straighten your legs. Keep your arms up. Turn your toes in. Widen your heels. Bring your hands to your hips. Same hand position. Lift your chest this time. Exhale, put a little hinge into your waistline and fold forward. Take your arms out in front of you like they're going into downward facing dog, straight arms. Push into your index fingers and thumbs, butt back. Firm your legs. Lengthen the crown of your head towards your thumbs so that you can move into your upper back. You can shake out the head, yes and no. Isn't it nice when a level 2 class is slow? Walk your hands underneath of your shoulders, lift your chest halfway up. Be in your legs, find your legs. Press into the outer edges of your feet, gather your inner arches. Hug your heels in slightly so that you can feel the lift at your pelvic floor, and then one arm out to the side, other arm out to the side. Gaze down towards your chest to lengthen your back and pull your belly in more. For 3, strong legs. 2, strong legs. And 1, inhale, come all the way up to the sky, and exhale your hands to your heart center. Turn your right foot forward, sink down into warrior 2. Flip your palm, reverse your warrior, lean back. Exhale, hands down to the mat, step to downward facing dog. Bring your big toes to touch, widen your knees out to the sides, and do that a few times to loosen the rotation of your hips. In down dog, lift your left leg high. Step your left foot forward in between your hands, deep lunge position. Feel that your knee is over your ankle. Lower your back, heel down, reach with your right arm, warrior 2 pose. And then sink into it. Hug the heels in together. Rotate, external rotation of your left thigh. So your left buttock moves under. The front of your right hip pulls up, and the front of the right thigh rotates back. And it's just a soft extension where the right leg actually has 2 rotations. External at the top of the hip and internal at the base of the thigh. Sinking in. Gather your pelvic floor in and up. Keep the left side of your waistline long. Sink down, elbow to thigh. Reach your right arm over your head. Gaze underneath of your right armpit. Draw your left hip back to lengthen your waistline more. Squeeze your heels together, gaze up. Find the structure of the torso by drawing the chin down slightly and pulling the belly button in. You're always working bandhas in these poses, so you should feel quite sweaty, even though we're moving really slow. The left buttocks is working. Gaze down to your left toe. Warrior 2 pose. Inhale, come up. And then exhale. Turn your toes in. And now this time we'll do this a little bit different, so I should turn to face you. Widen your feet out. Point them out to the sides. Drop into a wide goddess style or sumo style squat. Hands to your knees. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears and rock side to side. So just the rocking movement is so nurturing for the hips and the thighs. As you rock side to side, pull your belly in. Lengthen your tailbone down. So here, this action of pulling the belly in, it feels like Nauli, but it's not exactly, not that deep. We're not breathing in this one, or well, you know. Drop your right shoulder down to the middle, and you should feel a big release through the thoracic spine. Inhale, come back to center, shoulders shrugged to ears. Exhale, drop your left shoulder in. And now these are really the only twists we're doing in today's practice. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right shoulder drops into the middle, sink lower into your hips, and you can access more of your back. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, drop your left shoulder in. Good job. Come back up. Gather your heels in together, pelvic floor up, hands to heart center. Now sink low. As the tailbone moves down, just pop up onto your right tippy toes and sink down deeper into the posture. Your gaze can be down at your thumbs to keep the back in a long neutral position. Release your right heel down, be in the legs. Lift your left heel up. Lower your left heel down, lift both heels up. Belly button in, gaze down at the fingertips. 2 and 1, heels down, arms up, straight legs, go really slow. Turn your toes in, exhale, fold forward. Lift your chest halfway up. Step back into a lunge, left foot forward. Plant your hands, downward facing dog, all the way back. Bring your big toes to touch. Widen your knees out to the sides, look forward to your hands. Inhale, breath. And exhale, step or hop. Feet to hands. Lift your chest halfway up. Exhale, fold forward, nose to shins. Inhale, lift your chest halfway up. You got it. Exhale, fold again. Lift your chest halfway up and come down to your knees. As you come all the way down to your knees, knees together, feet together, sit back onto your heels. Okay, another opportunity to move into the breath. Belly in, arms out in front of you, but this time hands down to thighs. Fingers point in. As the fingers point in, elbows wide, we're going straight back into the Nauli style. Breath, inhale. Exhale. Vacuum. Wow, it's amazing. Okay, this time when we do it, we're going to rock the rib cage side to side, side to side, within the holding of the breath. So we're looking to lengthen the side of the erector muscles, the side of the low back, at the same time pulling the belly in so the organs squeeze back. And when you come out of the pose, it's like eye rolling, magic, everything feels invigorated. Alrighty? If this is too much for your feet, you can sit onto a block in between the heels. That's a nice position for the knees as well. Okay, hands down, you're rounding and then wiggling ribs from side to side. And try and get an even amount of rotation side to side before you inhale, come up and soften your arms down. We'll take a break in between each one. We'll do 3. Inhale, breath. Exhale. Vacuum. Close your eyes, take a few breaths. Getting deeper into your back muscles. Here we go again. Hands down, fingers in. Inhale, breath. Exhale out. Vacuum. One more. Palms down, fingers in. Inhale, breath, round your back. Exhale. Vacuum and wiggle. Roll your shoulders down your back a few times. You can roll out your neck. And here we go. We are moving into one of our final postures, incorporating the same breath. You're welcome to have a blanket nearby. This is the shape of the pose. It's Janushirshasana A. So right leg extended, foot flexed, left knee bent, left foot into the inner right thigh. If this is too much for the flexibility of your leg and hamstrings, you can take a blanket and do a little roll. So there's a thicker part and a thinner part to the blanket. And slide the thicker part underneath of your knee and the thinner part behind your calf muscle, and that will give you just a little bit of softening around the back of your leg so you're not pushing yourself into too deep of a stretch. Rotate your thigh. Grab your hands, take your hands around your thigh and rotate it in. You can see that. When you rotate your thigh in, you pull the flesh of your buttocks out and back. So we're finding proper alignment in the leg or internal rotation. Take your left hand up overhead, inhale breath. Exhale, reach and grab onto your foot. Twist to the right, just a little bit, and then bend your elbow and fold. So this is essentially what the pose will be as we're moving into the breath. I want you to just get the stretch first. And then inhale, straighten your arm, keep holding onto your foot or your ankle. Take both hands around your foot or your ankle. First one, I'm going to hold the ankle, and then I'll go deeper and hold the foot, and you'll probably feel that you could try that as well. Take an inhale breath. Exhale out. Vacuum the belly in. Bend your elbows and fold. Inhale, come up, still holding onto the ankle or the foot. Let's do this. We're going to do it a couple times, so 4 more times on the right side. Each time you will be able to go deeper, deeper and deeper into your forward fold. Now remember, you can twist your rib cage towards the right. That will help to create a proper balance of length through your low back. That's level 1, right? Then you can also remove the blanket. That will help you to go much deeper throughout the rounds. And always remember to activate the bandhas. Mula bandha, Uddiyana bandha, Jalanhara bandha, as you move into the breath. So you vacuum, vacuum, vacuum. Then inhale, look forward, lift the chin, fill. Exhale, fold and hold. That will take you into a deeper version of the posture. Let's do it. I'm holding on to the foot this time, so you're welcome to join me. Inhale, breath. Exhale it all out. Vacuum. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, breath. Keep drawing your right hip back. Exhale, release all of your air. Vacuum. Exhale, widen and fold. Inhale, breath. Exhale. Vacuum. fold. Press your hands down and come up. Check in with your body. I really hope that you got into the deepest version of the forward fold by using the breath today. Switch sides. Extend your left leg out. Right heel in to your inner thigh. You can set up the blanket again for your knee, and then just twist your rib cage to the left and fold forward. Find the initial stretch and just see where it is. Then you can remove the blanket, hold on to your foot or onto your ankle. Take big inhale breath. Exhale out. Vacuum. And fold. This round, we'll go a little faster on this side. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale out. Elbows wide, fold. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale out. Elbows wide, fold. Deeper every time. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, air out. Elbows wide, fold. Last one. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, air out. Belly button in. Elbows wide, fold. Take a few breaths. Walk your hands back. Come up. Feeling pretty good. Extend your legs out in front of you. Take your hands to the back of your buttocks, widen your buttocks. Wiggle your fingers behind you and fold. Here, you can put a blanket behind your knees, grab your ankles, relax your upper body over top of your lower body. We're here for 5 long breaths. Breathe deep. 5. Inhale, come up. Okay, so our final posture, our Shavasana, our relaxation posture, will be legs up the wall pose. Oh, it's so good. So you can move your blocks off to the side. You You can move your leg bands off to the side. I really am hoping your back feels pretty amazing. Put a blanket up against the wall, snug it tight, butt to the wall. So I start with butt and shoulder, and then roll onto your back and extend your legs straight up. Extend your arms out to the sides. Let your feet relax and breathe. So taking final Shavasana in this position is extremely relaxing, extremely healing for the back muscles. Let your lower back expand out. Soften your feet completely so that the energy of the feet drains all the way down through the calf muscles, through the thighs and the knees. It plugs your thigh bones back into your pelvis. So it puts your body back into a very good and steady alignment. If you are having trouble with this position for any reason, you can start by putting a little shim underneath of your hip. And maybe if one hip just doesn't feel comfortable, start with a small book. And then after a few breaths, once the body settles, open the book so that you're only using half of it as a shim. And then after a few more breaths or minutes, remove the book, and the pelvis, the alignment of the low back and the sacrum should settle and eventually come to a space of balance. So in legs at the wall pose, we've been here for over a minute, and we'll change the position in 15 seconds. So just breathe. Noticing the feeling in your legs. Oh, so good, so draining. And now switch the position so the soles of the feet touch and your knees open wide, and you can push your hands lightly against your inner knees and just pressing. Allow the knees to move towards the wall. My feet turn into ice cubes in this position, so really, really icy. Okay, for the next position, place your feet onto the wall and your hands against your knees. Now, your feet can be higher than your knees, shins at a 45-degree angle. Press your hands against your knees, lengthen your tailbone down so your back lengthens, and then hold here. This is a good option. Or you can go all the way towards a shoulder stand position and lift your hips. With your hands at your low back and your feet against the wall, lengthen the front of your body. Feel that your knees are turned in and your lower back is broad for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly using your feet, lower your buttocks back down. Roll to the side. Come up to a seated position, and this is where we will end practice. Sit with your back against the wall. Cross at your ankles if that's comfortable, or support with blocks. And bring your hands to your heart center, chin down. And close your eyes and take a few deep breaths as you settle the body into final position. The practice of yoga moves us towards the direction of meditation. So always practicing movement, activation in the body before focusing deeper and deeper and deeper on meditation. So after this class is over, take your time and give your body what it needs. Be in stillness. Namaste.